Hello everyone, and welcome back to another Depot A run with me, your host Tim. And we've got a very special Depot A run for you guys today. Stygian Software has just released an experimental build of Underrail in which they are looking for feedback on their attempt to rebalance psionic powers somewhat. They've changed the mechanics of how psionics work, and I feel it would be to everyone's benefit to take a look at these changes and attempt to utilize them through Depot A. To that end, I made a new character, I got him up to Depot A, and we're going to make an attempt today to do it. That's all I got. Let's go ahead and do the standard stuff. We're going to get into the game. We're going to talk about the changes that have happened to Psi. I will talk about probably why this was done. I don't really know for sure. I'm not a Stygian Software employee. I didn't design the game whatsoever. It's not like I'm consulted on this either. And then we'll go ahead and try to beat Depot A. At the end of it, I'll give my thoughts on the new psionics and if I like them or not, and or any areas that could use improvement, or any speculation I have on my side or my part as to maybe some other changes that could happen in regards to the psionic powers and their alterations. Alright, I really like how that came out. I'm gonna stop recording really quick. Alright everyone, let's go ahead and get in there and begin talking about new Psi. And yes, this part was cut. There's going to be lots of video edits today. Lots and lots and lots of them. Alright everyone, the first thing we should cover is Enervation. This is the big change and has the psionic players, pure Psi players, really up in arms about how this has really reined in all-comer psionic builds. If your character knows temporal manipulation, thought control, metathermics, and psychokinesis, this change will not be to your liking at all. Not one bit. Let's go ahead and start covering it. In order to cast spells now, or use psionic powers, you must first enervate those powers that you wish to learn. It's very similar to the 2nd edition Dungeons & Dragons wizard characters. You have your spell book, which consists of all the spells that you have access to, and then you have the spells that you decided to memorize up here. As you can see, this character of mine has 5 total slots. Currently, you get 2 slots for free, and then you get an additional slot for every 2 points of intelligence, up to a maximum of 8 slots, with the 8th slot being unlocked at intelligence 12. If you do not have the spell enervated, you cannot currently cast it. It should probably go without saying that this change means that the unique aspect of a pure Psi, the ability to call up any ability at a moment's notice to deal with a certain situation, is gone. You will now need to pick and choose your psionic abilities depending upon the situation that you will find yourself in, because there's another restriction to Enervation. You cannot enervate in combat. You can only swap these abilities around after combat. You can't be in combat to do it. So if I run into something right now and I wanted to use cryostasis, I can't the moment combat begins. I would have to wait till combat ends. So, I think this change was done for several reasons. Number one, well, pure Psi builds are extraordinarily powerful. They do have a tool in their arsenal to deal with any situation that should present itself. I've already given my review on Underrail in that last video for Gabriel Angelos, and I thought Underrail, there's a lot to balance in this game. There's so many moving parts, so many different builds, and dozens of feats. It's impossible to build a balanced game, I feel, that takes every single aspect of it into account. But psionic powers have always felt overpowered to me compared to everything else. I think this restriction is an attempt to limit the amount of power that you have access to. This is, I think, in chief because of how psionic powers work compared to other weapon skill powers. If I want an ability with my spear, like Impale or Sweep, I don't get to buy those from a merchant to learn them. I have to actually spend a feat point to get them instead. Psionic users purchase their activated abilities rather than select them through feats for the vast majority of them. There are a handful of exceptions to this. Premeditation is one, and Something Mania is another, but I don't like crit builds for the most part, so I've never taken that ability. Psi-Mania, I think? Psionic Mania? In any case, so I think this was an attempt to offset that power. Another change that has happened to Psi has been the addition of a new resource that you must manage. Your character now still has Psi, and the Psi work exactly the same way they used to. You spend it, you regenerate it. You can't cast certain spells if your Psi is too low. You'll have to use, you have to wait till combat ends and then slowly regenerate it, or inject yourself with a Psi Hypo. There's also now reserves in addition to Psi. Reserves are the absolute limit of the amount of Psi that you are allowed to recover until you must rest, is what I'll call it. So, if our reserves were 0, we would not regenerate any Psi. It would stop until we used an item called a unsaturated psionic inhalant. This is, I think, the equivalent of a Dungeons & Dragons 2nd edition mage resting for like 4 hours or so. This way you can memorize your spells again. In addition to not being able to regenerate Psi, if your reserves are at 0, Psi Hypos will only restore 50% of the amount they normally do. My character here does not have fast metabolism, so Psi boosters only restore 75 Psi. This means that when I use them, if my reserves are empty, they will restore only 36 or 38 Psi. Let me go ahead and drain my Psi to 0, so that this way I can show you what I'm talking about. Note that as my Psi regenerates, my reserves are drained by an equal amount. As I recover 11 Psi, in this character's case, I lose 11 from my reserves. Psi Hypos restore, in this case, I restored 53 Psi, and I lost 53 through the reserves as well. So don't think that you can just use Psi Hypos to avoid this effect. The reserves represent any attempt you have of regenerating Psi. It will drain from your Psi reserves. Okay everyone, I've drained almost my entire Psi supply, and we're going to see myself gain just 10 reserves now. And done. My character can no longer recover any Psi. But, well, at least naturally, you can use Psi Hypos, but again, I'm only recovering 38 Psi and not 75 because my reserves are completely empty. In order to recover your reserves, again, you use a desaturated psionic inhalant. Desaturated psionic inhalants are available at your local pharmacy. Please check your state and regulations and laws to make sure that you are legally allowed to purchase them. Alright, and now I'm back up to 100 Psi and 500 reserves. Now, why did they do this change? I believe it's probably because of the cost, monetary in-game cost, of running non-psionic builds and how it differs from psionics. Psi users do not have to worry about carrying around mechanical repair kits or fabric repair kits if you're using boxing gloves, or electronic repair kits if you're using electrical weaponry, for example. There's nothing to repair. The only thing they have to worry about the only thing they repair is their armor, to my knowledge. Nothing else. In addition to that, they don't need to carry batteries to recharge their electronic weaponry. They don't need to carry around bullets for their guns, or bolts for your crossbow. This introduces a money sink to the game. You also run the risk when you use certain types of characters, in particular, I guess, ranged characters, that you might run out of bullets if you did not bring enough with you. Now, Psi users must somewhat manage their Psi in order to make sure they don't run out in very long encounters. I can't think of very many encounters where you would blow through 500 Psi. I think 600 total, because you start with 100, and you recover up to, and then you begin recovering that extra 100. It would be tough to go through 600 Psi, but it would probably be able to happen on hard. The encounters in some of them have more enemies than others, and it's tougher. Enemies have more life as well, so your damaging abilities require a few more casts for you to use them. So this, in a way, works as such for your weapon skills repair costs, because now you must use these instead. It is my belief that there is out there somewhere a blueprint in order to create sonic inhalants so you don't have to just purchase them, though I have not found it with this character at the moment. Next, back to Enervation. You'll note on the right-hand side of the brain that it says base Psi cost modifier 110%. In addition to being penalized by having a certain number of restricted slots available for your psionic potential, if you decide to mix psionic skills with other types of psionic skills from different schools, the cost modifier will begin to increase depending upon the number of different schools you have memorized. If, for example, I had thought control, metathermics, and temporal manipulation skills memorized in my brain, the Psi cost modifier would be 120%, not 110. I think this was done to try to get psionic users to not use certain combinations of psionic powers. In other words, don't select just the absolute best psionic power from every single school and memorize it. Try to get through the game with less powerful psionic powers. Another thing about Enervation. When you decide to swap out what you have memorized for something different, you will lose all of your current Psi and all of your current reserves. Again, this feels very similar to the 2nd edition Dungeons & Dragons wizard classes. When you decided to memorize new spells, you lost your original spells, and you basically have to drop them. And then you could memorize the new ones, freeing up space in your brain, but you had to rest in order to do so. So, it feels the same to me in that regard. Why do that? I don't really know. I can't think of a good reason, I suppose, in this instance, as to why they decided to add that, other than they wanted some additional cost to re-enervating. They didn't want you swapping your abilities around willy-nilly before every single battle, without carrying around a lot of Psi inhalants, I suppose. Alright everyone, I think that covers all of the mechanical changes to psionic powers. There have been alterations to some specific psionic abilities as well. Some were lowered in Psi cost, some were weakened in damage, some their behavior was changed a little more dramatically, some had their costs reduced or increased. I'm not going to cover those individual changes. The patch notes are available to you wherever it is that you would read your patch notes for Underrail, so I recommend you go look at them. Alright everyone, there's 3 more things I want to quickly show, and then we'll be ready to start deep away. And we'll start by looking at this incredibly sexy character in order to see what his build is like. So, first, Stig has added the ability to zoom in the game. You can zoom in to 200% now, allowing you finer control over clicking on things, bear traps, doors. I've actually been able to use the zoom feature to select the remains that were under a corpse once or twice. I very much like this alteration. It gives me an excuse to look at the fine textures on everything that I see around myself, and again, it helps me click on things in the game, since you have to be pretty precise to click the pixel, the exact pixel you need to target an enemy. I haven't had the opportunity to actually see if it fixes the enemy hiding behind a door thing that always seems to happen in my games. We'll probably see that happen at least one point in this run. Another thing that was added is some new craftable items. I found something called sponge filters. It's my belief that these are probably used for yourself to create desaturated psionic inhalants. I have not found the recipe on anyone yet, but I'm still in the early portions of the game. We're about to finish off Depot A. I saw a new item, a new craftable thing for helmets in a store, a light that you can now use. It probably works similarly to how the infrared goggles work, but I'm not 100% sure. I saw it on a character who didn't have any mechanics and wasn't able to create helmets. So if I'm able to find one, later on I'll go ahead and show... Well, someone will probably show off making helmets with a visor. I don't think I need to make a whole video just on that aspect of it. But this tells me that there are new craftable things and new alterations to existing equipment that are also coming with this patch. Finally, if you look down on my belt slots, you will see something that looks new. I found something called an electric lantern, and I really like this idea. We can turn it on, and it makes everything so bright. I love this around our character. It is my belief this is probably going to help tremendously in dealing with crawlers and deathstalkers who like to end their turn directly adjacent to you with the hope of attacking you more the next rounds, and I think this will make it more difficult for them to do so, assuming your character has some perception or paranoia, some ability or passive that allows them to detect enemies easier. Alright, and now we're going to talk about my character, but I want to go back to an earlier save where I didn't use so many hypos and desaturated sonic inhalants, so give me a few seconds. Okay everyone, so let's talk about the character for a bit. So, first, his skills, stats, and feats. So for this character, I decided not to lower any starting stat whatsoever. They all began at 5, and I put a point into strength, dex, agility, will, and intelligence to start. My thoughts here were that I wanted to be able to use spears, which means I need a strength of 6. I decided to take lockpicking and pickpocketing, and a melee skill, and so my dex is going to end up being the skill that I improve the most to help my skills out. I wanted a dodgy and evadey character, so agility made sense for me there. For constitution, I really dislike lowering my constitution if I'm going to be playing a psionic user. I actually prefer pumping this 1 point to 6, and then taking fast metabolism, but I did not do so in this instance. Perception of 5, because I really like being able to detect traps, and this perception allows me to do so, especially with paranoia. And a will of 6 and intelligence of 6, because, well, I really like being able to cast spells with psionic users. These are very high, but these will begin to be updated now. My intention is to have these leveled to 8 each, and at that point that will stop. This character is a hybrid melee/psionic user, and I've made a few of these characters, and I find that a 8 or 9 will was great, but with the changes done to psionic powers, I actually want an intelligence of 8, at the very least, so I can get one more psionic socket unlocked. For this character's skills, well, I'm using spears, going to be melee, take melee. He's dodgy and evadey, so we have 55 points there. My intention with this character is such that the dodge will probably peter out around 90 points in it, because I plan to move over to using Uncanny Dodge to get me out of any future encounters where I'm unable to incapacitate or slow melee down to the point where I need to worry about them. Evasion will be constantly pumped, because I do not like getting hit with ranged attacks. I took lockpicking and pickpocketing. I think pickpocketing was probably a mistake. My original intention for this character was to play it on Oddity. However, when I started playing on Oddity, I remembered how much I really loathe farming in this game, and so I decided that nah, I'm gonna not play Oddity mode. But I kept putting points in pickpocketing because I forgot. And so when I had 40 points, I'm like, oh wait, why am I taking pickpocketing again with this character? it was too late, and I decided, well, we'll keep it. I could use more adrenaline shots anyway, and a few more Charions. For technology, he currently has a few points in mechanics. This has helped him make his current spear, level 10 spear, which I like very much. My intention is for him to have mechanics, electronics, biology, and tailoring, all at effective level about 130 or so. For Psi, we only have metathermics and temporal manipulation. I did not want to take more than just 2 skills with this character, given that he's a hybrid in more than just psionic skills, right? He's got metathermics and temporal manipulation and melee, so I can't really find the points left over to take other skills up anymore. And no social skills here. We don't really need them anyway. For feats, nimble, because I like wearing armor. I find it helpful even on a psionic character, especially now that I don't have every single power available to me. Paranoia, because I like having the increased initiative and decreased chance to be critically hit. The detection is also very nice. It makes up for me only having a 5 perception. And I can also put on a trapper's belt if I really need additional detection, and eat stuffed bat. And it should be enough to find every single trap in the game. I've heard people say that a perception of 5 is enough to still find most of the secrets in the game. But I don't know that I haven't been able to get any secrets to spawn with an effective perception. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. We have to take Psi-Empathy. You'll note that Psi-Empathy was toned down a little bit. It used to reduce your health by 25%. Now it reduces your base health by only 20%. I have some thoughts about Psi-Empathy given the new build, but I'll wait until the end of our Depot A run to do so, to give them to you. Sprint, I had a high agility. Why not take Sprint? Normally at this level, if I was taking like Stealth, I'd take Interloper. Maybe I would take Grenadier if I was taking Throwing. But I'm not playing a Cave Wizard, I believe is the name of it. So basically a Sonic user who doesn't spec in all Sonic powers, but uses grenades to make up for that, and traps. Sprint will be good enough. That will help me get around corners quicker, get out of line of sight if I need to in particular, and help me avoid melee characters. Tranquility, I don't like the crit bonus Sonic powers. This is a little more true now that this balance change is going, because it increases the cost of all your Sonic powers by, I think, 20% to get an extra 15% to crit, I believe. What is it called? What is it called? I can never remember. Psychosis, this is it. So it increases your critical chance of all psi abilities by 15%, which is amazing. But it also increases our psi point cost by 20%. I still think that's probably good, but given the new reserve mechanic, you will run the risk of running out of power in a few long fights. And by long, I mean battles that a Tranquility build would not suffer with. So, no Psychosis for me. 1 second. I have Pyromaniac because I wanted to have a chance to set things on fire and make them run around in fear. That's been really useful for some sort of limiting crowd control. It's especially nice if I can get a pyroclasmic stream to hit multiple enemies. Generally, one of them is going to start running away, and that helps me deal with just a handful that are left over. Also, the extra damage is nice. In the instance where I set something on fire with my... was it Pyrokinesis? Yeah, Pyrokinesis. And we have Premeditation because Premeditation is broken. It is one of the best abilities, I think, in the game, that and Locus of Control. So I definitely wanted Premeditation. It still is exactly the same. Reduces the psi cost by 50%. That's even more important now with the new reserve mechanic. And reduces the action cost by 100%. Very, very nice. For my equipment, I am wielding a steel spear that I made myself. I find that the blocking that I can do with it is helpful if something actually manages to make it to me. I'm using Kolmir's Lucky Knife. You'll see me swap to this when I'm being fired at by enemy range combatants and there's no threat of being hit by melee. This way there's a decreased chance to be crit. I've got a groin guard because everything wants to rip your nuts off in this game, according to the dude. So we definitely don't want that happening to myself. Also, I don't really have a need for any other slots at the moment. I won't be having a high electronics till later, and thus giving myself a stealth field to help my invasion. or a taser to help me stun creatures that run up close to me. So I'm perfectly fine with just 2 slots at the moment. The Growing Guard will be helpful enough. For my armor, I found an anti-thermic insulated overcoat on that group of iron heads just to the south of Underrail. It's decent, and I like the heat resistance because sometimes those fireballs manage to slam into me. Or if I walk over a mine, I want to take less damage from the heat component of it. And thus, anti-thermic insulated overcoat to the rescue. It also has that mechanical damage threshold increased against bullets, which will prove useful for us against the robots we'll be fighting later on here in Depot A. I have this balaclava because I haven't found anything else. I really should buy an anti-thermic one. I don't really need the stealth. I don't care about cold resistance, but, well, this is it. Suppose I could go look and see if Fixer is selling some sort of metathermic psionic headband, but we'll be okay with this at the moment, I think. And Ninja Tabby Boots, a really, really, really low level Ninja Tabby Boots. I know, very, very, very low level, but, oh, I don't have tailoring, couldn't make the ones I want, which we made of siphoner leather. I don't care about the stealth. Dodge and evasion increase is nice. The attack cost reduction is nice as well. Lets me get off 2 swings with this and a swing with the knife. But I wish I had better Tabby Boots than this. For my usable items, we get the electric lantern. For no other reason than I don't really feel like throwing a bunch of grenades. We've got flashbangs, because flashbangs are amazing to incapacitate someone. I just have to hope they never hit. I never get caught in my own flashbang. Alright, and that's it, everyone. Let me put another cut here. Alright, everyone, let's get started. Time to destroy some mutants. So the first thing I should do is look at my psionic skills for where I'm going to be. So we're fighting mutants and dogs and robots, auto turrets, in the entirety of Depot A. The auto turrets are going to be giving me the most trouble because I don't have any EMP grenades on me to help me disable them. I don't have any way to really damage them with fire, and their frost does almost nothing, if anything, to a robot anyway. You can set them on fire, but it doesn't do that much damage to them. By far and away, this would be the most useful skill to use on them. Stack it a bunch of times, and then watch the thing die. But the robots are mostly confined to one singular area here. I think we can deal with a single rogue auto turret here and there, while we won't have to enervate for temporal distortion until a little later. So I think this is fine. We're going to be fighting mutants for the first few areas anyway. For the most part. And I can always kill the robots, mechanical resistant enemies, with my Steel Spear. There is, as you can see, a little mechanical resistance with that ignores with the spear. There's 25% the mechanical damage resistance. Oh, but only time attacking with organic targets. I just realized that. All right, so we don't actually benefit from that against robots. Okay. Oh no! Oh, he saw me. That was really unlucky because I like using this as a funnel. We could maybe kill it quickly, but I think it's gonna... Even if we kill it, I think everyone else decides to investigate. Let's see if that would be the case. Yep, can't end combat, so there's more enemies coming. So I'm going to line up here, and I'm going to wait right here for them to start showing up. They'll probably run up to shoot me, and then still hang around this barrel, and I'll destroy the barrel to damage all of them. I'm expecting 3 mutants immediately to be here, and maybe 2 dogs. Let's see if I'm right. Few mutants, no dogs. Okay. Maybe there's a dog, however, around the corner. So I'm going to use a single cryokinesis here. And the barrel should kill all of them. It killed none of them. But they all did take damage. I should then have used pyrokinesis instead. to make sure that they all took AoE damage from that and from the barrel. So this is not as effective as it could have been. Especially not when it goes where I want. So those 2 burning junkyard beauties are dead. Let's get away from the gun guy. I'll sprint to make sure we can get in the corner. One of them died, as I expected. Nice. Hey! None of the other dogs showed up. Let's stay here for a tiny bit. Oh, and we should eat some food. Oh, a marauder. Worth a decent amount. Not worth repairing, but still worth taking. We've got lockpicking. Might as well open up everything. To my recollection, there isn't anything amazing in any of the lockpick locked places in Deep Away, but there is nice things if you have hacking. I should leave those doors open. Oh! Wow. I'm tackled. Nice, still killed it. There's another one around here somewhere. I always preferred to use cryokinesis against the dogs, or some sort of psi ability, because of how nimble dogs are. A 63% chance to hit them is not very good. Thankfully, and I guess I am grateful for this, with this character who's a psionic user, Stig did not change how psionic accuracy works at all. All the abilities still are guaranteed to hit and damage their target if aimed correctly. I should leave this open. There's no reason for me to shut that. So we didn't get all the enemies. Oh, they both died at the entrance of this place. Okay, so can I break down any of the garbage we got? Hammer is decent. We don't need the knife. I don't have anyone really to sell the crossbow to. I'll take the parts instead. We'll leave these here for the future. On our return trip, we can pick up all the loot. I'll stay a little wounded at the moment. As I look around, there'll be some more mutants over here, I think. 2 of them. One of those 2 have a sledgehammer. I think it's this guy. Nope, he has a knife. There's Mr. Sledgehammer. I want to stream these 2 guys. Did not put fire on the sledgehammer guy. Let's sprint, get some distance. And that other guy should die automatically to the flame. Runs away, dies screaming. Amazing. Oh, a biotechnician suit. We'll take that. Electrical knife. Level 5. An old key. We will open all the lockers. I bought plenty of lockpicks for that. So everyone, if I'm not talking very much, it's because I'm so drugged. I'm on painkillers for my back, which has been absolutely destroying me recently. It's horrendous. I can't stand it. Just tough it up. Gotta tough it out. They make me so sleepy. Whatever. We'll still. I can still record. It might not be as entertaining, I suppose, if I'm not talking as much. Show me the trap. I know there's one right in front of me. Thank you, HE Mine. Okay, so the last time I was down here with Blade, he died because I was a bit overconfident in his ability to take on 2 entire squads of mutants. We will not make that same mistake with Tim here. But you know what? We'll get this guy's attention. .9mm, I think. It's only 2 shots. This guy's dex isn't that great. Get in the shaft just in case someone decides to investigate that noise. Unload the pistol. 7.62. Temp. His dex wasn't that great. He only took 2 shots. Probably should heal myself with some bandages. Oh, we can't search that. Whatever this is, that case. I guess you could say that wasn't the case. Or that is the case. That is the case. That auto turret is going to be annoying. But we might as well just charge it. And this is the only thing I can do against it. Oh, crap. Dog heard this. We want the dog killed first. Because I do not want to have to worry about being tackled. Getting critical hit up. I should be switching to my dagger. Spear guard doesn't stop bullets. You know, we could have just ignored this auto turret rather than take all that damage. Could have taken just avoided it altogether. There was no reason for me to take the damage, but it does make this hallway a little more convenient to walk down should I double back. Nice try, HE Mine, but not today. I think there's 2 more dogs in the hallways around here. But none are patrolling this area. That works out for us. There's a mine somewhere in this room. Ah, there we go. I was walking out of the room to throw a pyroclasm into it to verify that was the fact. Oh, nothing in any of the containers in here. I think there's 2 lockers on the other side of this vent, which we need this vent to get to. So let's take a look at that. Yep, 2 lockers. Hello. Machete blueprint. Nothing in this one, so I don't need this stuff. Just leave that behind. Okay, we should go for the northern group of mutants that are here before we take on the southern ones. I still can't really hit you, dog, so guess what? You get more frost in your face. should be able to do one more battle before I mean one more entire combat. I should have the side. Yeah, we have 127 reserved. We can do another fight before we have to. Inhale, dogs. I hate you. Oop, that wasn't it. Something saw that. A mutie. Wow. That hit me as well, that explosion. Let's stream these two. Didn't kill either of them, huh? Wow. That didn't kill them either. And only one is on fire. Okay, this one doesn't have crippling strike. Let's go finish the job. I don't think this guy's gonna die. But I would like him to charge me. Always waste those big crits on the enemies who are almost dead. Alright, so that wasn't so bad. I might be able to do another fight. Probably can do another fight. Alternatively, we should reset my Enervation at this point. Rather than wait till after the next... rather than do... I should re-enervate for the next room, which will be the room against the robot enemies. Crowbar, we don't need the crowbar. Okay, so yeah, so because I'm not sure if I have the side to do another entire battle, I might not, because I only have an extra 36 side waiting in reserve. And I think there's 4 or 5 total enemies in the last room within this area. So what we're going to do... is swap out... Swap out limited temporal increment for temporal distortion. Enervate, and then we will take our Halant. Okay. Let's open a few doors to make sure I have some running room. Actually, while I'm doing that, we may as well also say hello to the black eels. This way I can mark down where... This way I know where they came from, so this way Eddie will give us 200 Charons and we'll complete that quest. Oh. Reminder everyone that if you do turn in, I believe, the black eels hideout to Eddie, as a member of the Scrappers for his quest, that was an advanced health hypo. We'll take you. That, to my knowledge, you cannot do the Black Eels quest to destroy the Scrappers, because they have no way to really penetrate their defensive perimeter. Alright, that should be good enough. Oh, nope. Keep them open, Tim. So let's use the trick we learned the last time we were here. We'll enter combat, open the door, and then run away, and end combat. This way, we don't get burdened with a 25 action point cost for opening the door instantly in combat and then have to deal with the mutants. We can spend some movement points instead. I know there's a guy. I know there's a guy. I know there's... Well, there is. There's someone right near the other side of that door. Let's... Yeah, do it. You've already spent the ability, Tim. Someone's on fire. Okay, it's the guy with the assault rifle. Hello. No one else? A dog. A fire guy. That's right, got a sledgehammer. And another mutant. Oh, I missed a dog with that. That's interesting. I hate dogs. Oh. Yes. The oop was because I spent all my... I got tackled once, which means I can't actually cast. Oh, I'm also hurt, which is super awkward, because now that means I can't... My sire's not reduced with the action point cost. Nice! You know what? You're both standing kind of together. And you were both near a mine. Thank you for your contribution to the ongoing war fund. We'll put all your things to good use, including you, dog. We need your heart. For my eventual squeezing of all the blood out of it. A key and some sponge filters. Still don't know what those are used for. Hello! A shield! Not a very powerful one at all. But still, it's free. And I don't have one, so that will prove very useful. Yeah, this is a really, really bad shield. It's a high frequency, but only blocks 86 points. Still, it is a shield. That'll come in useful against burrowers, without me having to actually purchase one. Some boots. What a decent amount. We can sell those. Okay, and I'm gonna take a small break. I'm so tired. The medicine's really doing a number on me. So let's zone to the next area, which is where these robots are, and we'll be back to finish Depot A in a few seconds once I get over here. Just need to take a small nap, I think. Okay, I'll be right back. Meh. I can't fall asleep. Let's go ahead and keep going. Time to destroy the robots. Yep, no talking. No talking for robot destruction. Let's just pop out here and do this one. So something I found out is that you can actually enter combat while outside of Vent Shaft and then climb out. It's a bit weird to me. And I ran the wrong way. Actually, this is fine. I was worried he would run up to me and stun me. Not today, robot. Nice, another flashbang grenade. Hello, key card. Northgate key card. Need some hacking for this. So far, things are pretty much fine, I think, right? With the Enervation slots. We'll see if I feel that same way after we get done fighting the mutants, though. It is tempting to take cryostatus to help me stop a large mutant from being able to reach me for a turn or two. I have yet to make up my mind, though, if I'm going to go ahead and select such a thing. Also close to leveling up. So my character, by the way, in case you did not see, he is... Oh, another electrical lantern. Nice. You can get one here. I wonder if this is always a fixed thing you find now. I don't really need another. It doesn't look like it sells very much either. But I could have both of them on my belt. That way, if one runs out, I can always use... Oh, hello. Use the other. No time like the present. I was hoping you didn't have the action points for that. I back away from them because I don't want them to run up and stun me. Alright, only one of them. Another flashbang. Very nice. I actually don't need to go this way. There's nothing there I need. Hello, barrel. No experience points. So close to level 10. So close to level 10. I really like the addition of the new water treatment plant from several patches ago. There's enough experience now doing that area that you will be able to be level 9 before you arrive here. With a good chance on Oddity that you will also be level 9. Getting closer. How many of those identification things did I find? Oh, all 3. Okay, so that's not going to help me anymore. I shouldn't expect to get the identification strip to give me 75 extra experience points from them. Lots of blood. I think there's a mine trap right in this room. Hello, locked locker. That one might be worth repairing. Hello, desk. Nothing in you. Okay, while we're here, let's stop upstairs. I think this puts me on the other side of the auto turrets on the east side of the depot, if I recall. Nope, this puts you dead in the center. Do I have the key card for this? I do not. We have to unlock that, I think, through the terminal located in the area I had just been referring to. Leveled up! Alright. So, I gotta go pull up my character build. Let's see, what am I doing? Where did I decide to put my feet? Oh, I don't have any builds loaded. 1 second. Load level 12. Okay, so we just increase all of my stats 5 points as usual. And our feet, what feat do we take? Expose weakness this level. Expose weakness. Reduces the target's mechanical resistance threshold by 50% for 2 turns if it lands. Now, do I go out here and fight all the enemies? We do have a nice little choke point, as opposed to the other place would be coming up from the south into this area. We'd have room to maneuver. I don't think I want to fight the mutants just yet. So, unlike many of my other characters who have done Depot A, this Tim here, I did not get lucky enough to find any acid resistance gear. None. I didn't find any armor on anyone. And I didn't take tailoring with him either. So this is going to make this really tricky to do. I don't know why you want to search the shelf. Go here. There we go. Okay. then run away. That's probably close enough that we'll get stunned. No, okay. Didn't run forward. Good. Stop searching the shelf. Okay, now we can search the shelf. We also want the camera to see us because I want to pull the robot out of that one room. Hello. Yes, come and get dinner. It's waiting for you. Just got the lock as well. Alright, let's let it get a little closer. Oh, there's 2 of them left. Okay. That won't be so bad. Wow, especially not if we critical hit one of them. Well done. Ha! I laugh at your puny attempts to stun me. And I need expose weakness here. Oh, 2 critical hits. Well done, Tim. Well done. And we got another flashbang grenade from them. Half a pound, 500. You know, it's not worth carrying another. It doesn't weigh... It weighs half a pound, and it doesn't sell for very much. We'll just leave that lantern behind. Almost want to eat more food. We'll do so after we deal with that robot. Ah, well, there goes your exposed weakness, Tim. Didn't really do too much additional damage to it, though. Okay, so let's start stacking temporal distortions on the turret. And again. I think that will kill it. Oh, it did. Perfect. Okay, let's just wait here a little bit. Let our psi regenerate. So tired. Oh, it doesn't matter if you see me, camera. There's no more bots around. Get a good look. You like what you see? They're still orange? There you go. There you go. I think we can reach it from here, but it can't reach us. Yep, I have no idea why. It would strike me that bullets could go further than 30 yards. But maybe this thing's targeting is not so great, so it doesn't actually realize we're here. Ooh, that was lucky. Always forget that one's there. That leads up to the ending area. So, a heads up that Stig has changed a little more in regards to the nasties in this place. Acid Dog's blob attacks, when they try to root you in place, it used to be that they inflicted no damage at you with that attack. It would just collide with you, and you had a chance to get rooted. Now, the attack does damage. So that in itself is going to make these acid dogs much more difficult for me to deal with. And we may die many times trying to get through the mutant-held areas. These first 3 areas, I knew they would not be too difficult. But it's going to be the next 3 that are really going to test my character. Nothing there. Hello, ventilation shaft. Not talking. Yeah, I know. So tired. Well, don't make an excuse, Tim. Can you think of anything else to talk about? I guess we can talk about... Oh, I like to give my changes as like an official... This is what I thought of the alterations. at the very end of the game as opposed to doing it at the moment. Gives me a chance to dwell back on our Depot A run and see what I think. Okay, I don't have an EMP grenade. We need to just charge these things. Okay, let's hit that one twice and then dash around the corner. And what we're going to do is we're going to step out and use temporal dilation because the spear will take too long to chew through these things. We're now hurt. That'll explain why I cannot use more than 2 of those. I'm a little nervous. That will not be enough, so I'll stack an extra one. There we go. And I think we can deal with the last turret by ourselves without using temporal dilation. Let's charge it. Oh, I should be switching to the knife, Tim, when you're fighting these things. It feels like they weakened spears a little to me. I thought it had better armor penetration than what it currently has. Okay. Let's heal ourselves with the bandage. Loot the rest of the room, and then that's the robot room cleared. Locked. Did they change cameras a little bit? That's interesting that it still doesn't see me. Metal armor. Level 8 metal armor, nonetheless. Oh my god. You have a lot of things that you need to break down. Alright, let's start doing that. We should loot all the bullets out of that. That one's worth repairing. None of the knives are. This Marauder actually is not worth keeping. Neither is this Jaguar. Use the bits instead. Neither is... Wow, that's an absolute trash crossbow. Okay, let's make some repair kits now. 424? Metal bits. Holy crap. Okay, and then we can begin repairing my spear. Knife is fine, nothing else is metal. Hello, keycard. What was that blueprint? Serrated bolt. Useless. Well, useless to us. A decent weapon otherwise. Okay, that's it for the robot-controlled area. So... I think we'll go back upstairs and do the battle for the... Let's go to the east and kill the 4 dogs or so that are over there and the 2 auto turrets. We're going back upstairs. We need to go over into that room. I really need all this garbage with me. I don't really need the hearts. I'm not taking biology till several levels from now. Easily 4 levels. So yeah, let's leave. Oh, you didn't search this. Right, I killed the mutant and then I left this room. Now, am I happy? I think I am happy with my current skill setup as well. I have temporal dilation to help me deal with the turrets, and the rest of my abilities should hopefully help me deal with the dogs. I'm going to be relying on fire, in particular setting them on fire, to help me deal with the number of them that there will be. We're going to be taking a lot of acid damage here. Okay, let's get started. So this will be a good test. This will be a good test for how I'm going to try to deal with acid. I suppose we don't have to worry about acid at the moment. Let's just stack temporal distortions. See if we get a dog. You're not. The dogs will probably investigate the sound of it being destroyed, though. Got it. And they did. There's two of them. Alright, let's see if we can set them on fire from back here. Not a good chance to hit. We'll still take it. Only got one. Did set it on fire. The other one will absolutely investigate me. Let's see. Alright. What's my chance to hit this thing? 79. That's not very good. We'll try it. Probably a mistake. Should have used cryokinesis. Wait, we weren't rooted. We didn't take any real damage from that attack either. The other dog is now coming back. Oh, we got seen. Oh no, that's another dog. That one's almost dead. Let's try a pyro stream on this one. See if we can get lucky enough to set it on fire. And now we can cryokinesis this one. Twice. Yep, that should kill it. Look at all the acid everywhere. I want to avoid the acid and move up a bit. That turret can't reach me. Hello, dog. Nice! Nice, very nice. Okay. I think there's at least one more dog left over there. Let's bandage ourselves first. We'll search the remains once all that acid is gone. I think I'll set off the trap that I know is over here as well. Pretty explosions for now, right? I like that alteration. I wonder if the other particle effects will get moved over to the higher quality one soon. I think sometimes you can get a shield from this locker. I am wrong. At least not today. 2 adrenaline shots are nice. He's back up to 6. Wait a few seconds. Is there a dog there? There is a dog there. Okay, that must be the last one. Nice. Holy crap. We're getting in my opinion, lucky with those hits, given we have a 79% chance to hit them. Okay, we can just walk out. We'll take some acid damage, but we'll survive. Nothing in the barrel. Right, I forgot all about that. Alright, so we still have a turret to deal with. Nice, 2 bandages, very useful. Loot the corpses, just to make sure the corpses aren't on the ground anymore, because I don't want to worry about walking over them and accidentally looting them in case I'm wrong. For some reason, I've run all the way down here to avoid a single dog. That is also garbage. Actually, as long as I'm storing garbage on someone, I don't need... that crap. Oh, careful, 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 Tim. You don't have to run all the way up there to hit the robot with temporal dilation. Distortion. Oh, no, don't you do that either. Don't run up. And it's over. Oh, is it over? Remember, there's a mine right in the middle of that area. Alright, not bad. I thought for sure there was another dog. I thought there were maybe 5 over here. Maybe that's only in hard mode. A pistol. It's worth keeping. We can sell it for cash. Batteries. Useful. Probably should start using batteries against the dog's attacks. They'll block some of it, I think. Oh, there is another dog here. Okay, I thought there was a 5th. We can probably kill it. We'll try a pre-meted cryo. 1 hit point left. 3. Looks like that attack only does 8 damage. That's not so bad. The remains can also stay there. We'll take the long way around to avoid the acid. I think we have the key card for this gate. Okay, we'll try going in that way. Alright, it's finally time for what I would consider to be the most difficult part of Depot A, the Big Mutants. Big Mutants and lots of dogs. Lots of acid dogs. Let's see if we can handle it. So I will totally zone if required. I have no qualms about doing so with other characters who wasn't Gabriel Angelos. Though I'd like to not do so, if possible. Are they together? They are, okay. We sprint and we try setting them on fire. I want to get a little closer. We didn't set either of them on fire. They're too far away for a stream. But now they're both together, so let's stream. Well, we got one to run away, but not the other one. We're also going to have an angry mutant showing up. There's no way that they did not hear this. Didn't root us, thank goodness. Ah, there's our mutant friend. So we'll slow him a little bit. Why do you need to move closer, Tim? You do not need to move closer to hit him with a cryokinesis. So this is where things get really tricky, because we're not immune to acid with this character. So if he walks up and acid sprays, that's a good amount of damage we're going to take. Okay, he did not do so. Let's use psychotemporal dilation to slow him down and run around him. Oh no, that's a second one. And another mutated dog. And we're rooted. We are probably dead. I cannot run away. Yeah, we're probably dead. Let's see if we can get the flashbang over here. We did, and it hit all of them. Wonderful. This temporal dilation, I think, expires next round. Let's kill this dog, so I can run in that direction. 2 turns from now. I don't think you're surviving, Tim. You're still rooted. Oh, Jesus! 87 damage critical hit. And I think that's it for us. I don't think I can get away. I think we die to the acid next round. Yep, we're gonna walk over this acid, and that will be the end of us, would be my guess. Oh, not quite. I don't see how I'm doing this, though. I'm about to be exhausted as well. I need to get these dogs to run away. Let's hope we can set them on fire. As we run for the exit. I can't open the door. Well, then this is death. We have died here. Yep. Guess we can heal. Oh, 3 mutants. Yeah, too many enemies. Too many. Oh, right! There's a new death screen as well. Look at that. Amazing. So I think what I needed to do was kill 1 or 2 dogs and then zone here is what I need to do. So let's try this again. I think we can do this fight, but there's so much acid damage and I have no resistances to it. Okay, so we'll try focusing down the dogs one at a time, I guess. Might be able to hit both of these with the stream. Killed one, another one's running. Good. Do I stay? Let's see what else shows up. Alright, that was much better. We'll just huddle in the corner and wait for my mana to regenerate. 2 dogs down, and we're not locked in combat. That's very good. The explosion, I think, grabbed the 1 giant mutant and his dog friend to investigate from the room. I should now drop temporal distortion as well. There's no more robots for fighting, and I don't really need this on any of these enemies. Dogs and mutants don't heal themselves with hypos, which is one of the reasons why I might have used double distortion. So we're going to take cryostasis instead, and I think I like all my other abilities, so we'll just enervate with this. Okay, let's quick save, so don't have to worry about those 2 dogs again. At the very least, loot this 1 body. There's a lot of things on that. Let's think here. So I don't need that or the acid. I don't need the heart or the adrenaline glands. I'll keep the intestines at the moment, though. Oh no. Okay, let's do this. So... 2 cryokinesis. I think we can hit him with 1 cryo. And then dash down here. Okay, let's go ahead and use the dilation ability on this one. That will slow him down significantly. And we'll use sprint to get a little more distance. He'll intimidate us, I think. And the acid sprays, how annoying. We don't want to be standing in that. He's on a spot that makes it tricky for me to use Pyrogenic Stream. Can kill him with 2 cryokinesises, though. Woo! Okay, let's heal ourselves up. It's interesting attacking the mutants from this angle. I don't think I've done this in the past, despite doing like 50 Deep OA, getting 50 or so characters through Deep OA. How's our equipment looking? In good shape so far. I'm going to use one of these just because we have so many of them. Let's use another one. It'll help get the weight down. Okay, should be safe to move past this. Loot the remains, so I don't have to worry about them. Hello, locker. The acid gland at all. I don't need the acid gland at all. Oh my god. A blueprint. What's this one? Throwing knife. You already know it. You can just stay there. So that was locked. Oh, you know what? We defeated everything over in the area I just came from, but we didn't actually. I could have made it out. I could have done it. I'm an idiot. Let's go over to the other area, double back really quick, and let's actually use the console near where I destroyed the 2 auto turrets. And there you are. Security, inner depot auxiliary entrance, unlock it, and the transition door is also now unlocked. Spice we don't need, a locked desk. Let's see what's in it. Again, you don't really need lockpick or pickpocketing. They do provide you with a little bit of extra treasure, but you can totally get by without it. There's enough stuff in the game you can sell it all for decent amounts. That's another reason why I won't play the game on hard. Things sell for like 50% of their normal prices. I don't want to grind that much. That's so grindy. This is not for me. I'd rather the comfort of knowing I don't have to do that sort of thing here. And I think this door should now be unlocked. It is, okay. I'm going to keep that open, and this door, because I may be running back here, depending upon how these other battles go. A single bandage. We could use it, though. Alright, so I know behind this, yeah, there's a mutant and a dog. Let's enter combat, open that. Wait until combat ends, then we'll make ourselves visible. What? Where are they? What? There's a mutant. Where's your dog friend? We got entangled. I don't think I can quite target him. No, because I'm entangled. Right at the worst spot to be entangled on. Well, there's no hope for it then. Let's toss a flashbang and hopefully get them. I have to move up if I want to throw the flashbang, huh? Well, then it doesn't matter. We'll toss it right. We'll get ourselves with it. Because at least we'll be out of acid entanglement. Move a tiny bit. Throw a fireball back here. Good. Get that dog to leave me alone. Use the dilation on the mutant. Should probably have... Can I actually target him? I don't think I can. I can't. Let's use the adrenaline rush so I can move out just a tad and kill it. Okay, not bad. We survived. Let's recharge the shield and heal ourselves. The dog obviously can't make it in here. Dogs can't open doors yet. Should have done what you just did, Tim. Should not have done what you just did. Now you're gonna get acid entanglement again. There's another dog. That might mean there's another big mutant down there. At least, I think there's at least 2 more dogs. Okay, but this is going pretty well. So, unless things go horrifically wrong in the next room, I don't see us failing to defeat Depot A. 2 dogs, and we're instantly in combat. Didn't entangle us with either attack. We're not setting them on fire, though. We're getting very lucky with the hits we're dealing to them. We haven't gone on a missing streak yet. That's a ton of acid. Holy crap. I do miss having acid resistance gear. It would make this area so much easier for us to do. But we've only been fighting them basically in pairs, so that is totally manageable. I'll be right back, everyone. I'm gonna let the acid fade away. Alright, everyone. That's enough acid. Looks like the rest of it just faded away. Let's loot the bodies. This way I don't accidentally click on them. We're a very tidy hero. Nothing gets left on the ground. Leave the place clearer than you found it, right? That's the Boy Scout rule. Some bullets in the locker. Another flashbang. Very useful. That has saved our life, at the very least, once. Right here. That would have been really bad. I would have used cryostasis, so we would have taken at least one giant hit from that mutant, probably two, and then we probably actually would have died from that mutant. And when it got close to me, the next round I would have cryostasis it in order to give myself some breathing room. Now, I don't think we're done with the mutants. I think there's at least one more left down here. We've only killed 2 of them, and there's 3 or 4 total in this area. Oh, or it could be... Okay, yeah, there is one. Let's get its attention. Hello, mutant. I'm over here, sir. Let's slow you. Perfect. You're exactly where I need you to be for me to use the explosive barrel. Almost dead. It didn't set you on fire. 1 cryostasis won't be enough. Sorry, cryokinesis. We can sprint away. So I really like time dilation, psychotemporal dilation, because it's a slow. It's not as powerful as rooting the person in place, but if you have a decent amount of movement, you can use that as a much cheaper version of cryostasis. This is 5 action points versus, well, I guess 5 action points, and this is 72 mana as opposed to just 28. So I really like the slow more than cryostasis. But every single psionic ability has a use and a time at which it would shine. I'm just gonna walk over the acid. I always think there's a mine in this room, and there is no mine in this room. Hello. Steel machete, that's worth a bit of metal breaking you down. So, 1 room left, everyone. So, I don't see us not being able to defeat it. In fact, those enemies are grouped together, so our pyrokinesis will have a really nice use in the next room. And hopefully, so will our pyro stream also. And today, our high-level item is a pair of boxing gloves. Absolute trash. Absolute trash. Both of these. Useless. Okay, well, good thing I'm not playing a character who cares about anything like a, you know, super powerful electronic steel spear. I totally care about that. Okay, so this will be a bit weird because I'm not going to take this passage up and out there. We're going this way instead. But there's doors here as well that I can use to my advantage, and we might be able to use the mines to our advantage as well down here. Assuming I can drag enemies down into them and then utilize them. AoE with a pyrokinesis to damage the creature and the mine. And technically, that is all I needed to do to beat Depot A. So it looks like it is quite possible to beat Depot A with the new psionic changes. Just felt fine to me so far. No problems. None. This felt more or less the same to me as it would have if I was playing any other type of psionic character, if I was to stop and talk about this just at this point. But we're going to finish Deep Away, and by that I mean I want to kill every single mutant. Every single mutant dies in this place. It's a good test if I can kill them all. Besides, we can use the experience points as well. Alright, let's do this. Hello, dog. Really? I have to run up that far? Can I shut the door? I cannot shut the door. Oh. That's too good. That is too good not to try a pyrokinesis. Look at that. 3 dogs on fire. Will heavily wound the other. And then I'm going to use the dilation. I don't want him joining the fight so quickly. Didn't quite kill the dog. Critical hit. Blocked it though. The mutant is now free Tim to do what mutants do. We'll slow you and run over here. Yes! Burn, dog! Burn to death! Let's... Pyroblast is ready. Could use it. Let's try. Missed. We did set him on fire, which is with a critical hit, which is very nice. That will probably... The burn will kill him. Yeah. Yep. In fact, it'll kill him at the end of this round. So all we need to do is just run away. I am nervous that his acid spray can set off mines, so we're gonna run far away. Nice! Burn in righteous fire, mutant. And we got entangled right here at the end. Another critical hit. Heal ourselves. I want to be out of the acid. Okay, and we took... Oof, well, that was a lot of damage to standing around in acid. Don't do that. And that was all of them. I'm pretty sure that the burning damage killed all the dogs. All 3 of them died on their own. We can psionic inhalant as a reward to get our side back up. And we'll search this area, and then that's it. Then I'll go back to Junkyard, and we'll talk about what I think of these balance changes that they have done to Psi. Let's go ahead and loot the corpses first. I don't know why I actually... Well, I know why I searched all the corpses, because if you don't search the corpses and you actually are in battle in an area, you will accidentally search the corpses as you run around. We can avoid the acid, though, by taking this. We don't have hacking, obviously, so that stays uncollected. Another 150 experience points. Nice. We did not quite reach level 11, but that's kind of hard to do anyway. Okay, that is it, everyone. I'll be right back. I'm just going to go to Junkyard and sell some stuff, and then I'll be back to talk about the changes and what I think of them for the alterations of the Psi mechanics. So give me a few seconds. Alright, everyone. Let's talk about, I guess, my opinion on the new psionic changes. So, when it comes to the reserves, I can see that this will cause long, drawn-out battles to be something you'll need to concern yourself about as a psionic user. I didn't run into any problems in Depot A. The battles were not large enough, nor did they last long enough for this to be a worry. I think probably the battles in the DLC, defending the Aegis Incorporated camp from the Sobrian attacks, would be one spot you could run out of Psi and your reserves. Another area could be the battle against Chort. I suppose defending it against the Cortec warehouse assault. And the only other location I can think of would be the elevator going down the deep caverns in the Institute of Chort. I can't think of any other location where your reserves are going to possibly run out and the battle is still going on. Maybe the one battle versus the Ironheads, who are in the tunnel between Core City and Foundry. There's like 11 or 13, 9 to 11 of them there. You get, I think, maybe even up to 13 enemies if you get all of them to investigate any loud sounds or something of the sort. But in some of these instances, that battle, for example, you can also zone. So you can leave the fight, go to some place where it's safe, and then you could use an inhalant. So it's only basically the big epic or story large battles that you'd have to worry about your reserves running out. As for maybe how to improve upon this, maybe there can be a feat that doubles your reserves. So this way, you don't have to ever worry about it. You can just take that feat and you can have as many long drawn-out battles as you like. Hard mode has more enemies in it and they have more life, some of them. Some of them have, especially the bosses, have a massive amount more life. For example, Baylor, he has a lot of life in hard mode, especially on dominating. Well, I guess the battle against Baylor, there's a lot of enemies there too. But again, you can zone, so I don't see your reserves being a concern there. So I think this is a decent money sink. I don't think I like that your reserves get depleted when you enervate though. That will make people not really want to swap their abilities around so much. As for the inhalant itself, using it, maybe it could be sped up a little bit rather than taking 10 seconds. Take 5 instead. Make it work like a ninja looting feat or like the burglar feat, because that's a long time. 10 seconds. That's a long time to be standing still and waiting for your psi to recover. Not as bad as some of the old games. Strategic Simulations Incorporated Pool of Radiance trying to rest and recover hit points. God, what a grueling mess that was. But it could probably be a little faster, I think. Yeah, but overall, I believe probably a feat to increase your reserves. That could be nice. Maybe if your reserves scaled off some other stat, like your Constitution. More Constitution you had, every point above 5 gives you an extra 50 reserves. There might be a reason to see some more Psi users decide to increase their Constitution 1 or 2 more points. This way they'd have enough that they could feel a little more comfortable running on lower reserves, or rather they could do more battles without needing to repair their gear, as it were. Alright everyone, let's talk about the Enervation now. So what did I think of it? Going through Depot A with only 5 abilities available to me out of the 7 that I had in my arsenal. Well, it felt fine. It felt fine. Absolutely fine to me. In fact, I kind of like this. It feels more rewarding to do the battles with a more limited set of disciplines available to you. I liked the planning I had to do before I went into different areas to deal with the enemies that were within them. I think, for example, you're walking around in crawler territory, you'll set up your circuits a certain way. You are going into an area that has robots, you'll set your circuits up a certain way to deal with them. I like it. I actually really like this change. I feel this is a good way to rein in the power of your psionic abilities. There's still several more that my character will have access to, so some of it will be a bit tricky as to which abilities I decide to take. I'm probably going to stick with the abilities you see up here at the moment, and when I get this slot unlocked, limited temporal increments going to go into it, most likely, so I can have some cooldowns for cryostasis, pyrokinesis, and psychotemporal dilation. But I like this. I like this. I think that there is some potential to really utilize these circuits in unique ways as well. And there will hopefully maybe be some additional circuits that we will be able to unlock later through feats, for example. Or maybe a quest to get one unlocked. A pill you swallow and it frees up another area of your mind or something of the sort. That would be nice, and that would probably help pure psionic builds. Maybe they could also do something where certain sockets have some sort of special feature to them. Do you remember World of Warcraft? It used to be that some items, when you slotted a certain gemstone into the slot, you got a specific bonus for doing so. It'd be kind of neat if that was the case here. Like, some slots gave you an extra critical hit chance with it. Some slots, when you put it in there, the psi ability would be a little cheaper. And now it'd require even more thought as to which abilities you would want in certain slots. Maybe one slot would be able to allow you, the cooldown on that ability is reduced by 1. Or maybe all the slots would gain these bonuses. Maybe they could be a feat. Like, there's a temporal manipulation feat, where after so many points you put it into temporal manipulation, all the skills you enervate have their cooldown reduced by 1 if they have a cooldown, or something of that sort. That'd be kind of neat. It would let you play into how you want to set up your character's mind. Like he's more efficient at thinking about time than a different type of character would be. Or he's better at metathermics in regards to the potential of what these circuits have. I really kind of like this idea. I don't think Stig's probably going to do anything like that, but wow, just think of the potential that this has to be used in that way. But we don't have that at the moment, so I should stop dwelling on the future and things that will probably never happen. I can say that if you were playing a pure psionic build, there's no other way to look at this but a massive nerf. A massive nerf. And, well, psi is overpowered. It really is probably one of the easiest ways to play the game. I can imagine almost nothing that's as easy as this when it comes to combat. People have said that the tin can assault rifle build is extremely powerful as well. Maybe Stig will weaken that. But there's a lot in the game which also is very powerful. Grenades and Grenadier. Just those themselves that's really strong, having 2-turn grenades. But I'm getting distracted. Let's focus on the psi here. So, hopefully for pure psi builds, there will be some feats that you'll be able to take to get even more slots unlocked. I have no expectation that Stig will watch a video of mine. But if you are, sir, I would like to see a feat or two to give you more sockets. Maybe similar in vein to the jet ski feats. So you take socket feat 1, it gives you 1 slot, 1 extra socket. You can take it again as like a socket feat 2 to give you another slot unlocked. And in this way, you're toning down the psionic builds because they're sacrificing feat power for more utility power. And I think that might be a good way to also balance this going forward. Yeah, I think I would be happy with that. I know that I would, and as this gets developed, I'll probably try a pure psionic build and see if it still works with this. I have played through the game with a pure psionic build. I got all the way to Deep Caverns with them, and it was very easy. It was very easy. One of the, if not the easiest time I had in Underrail was with the pure psionist. So I'm glad to see these changes to work on the balance a little more, and I think I like this. It does need, I think, more work. Again, I would like some feats to give you even more sockets. I think most psionic people who build their characters would consider it. I probably wouldn't take it with this character because I have a weapon, and so I wouldn't feel the need. But if you're going to take 2, or actually 3 or 4 different psionic skills, I really think there should be a feat to give you more circuit unlocks. This is especially because you're really tempted to take multiple psi abilities because of the synergies amongst all of them as well, right? Like, a new player is going to see that all of these benefit from all the other ones, and so it's very difficult not to want to put even more points in all of these abilities, because your effective skill level goes up, and so the damage these do, like the time they last on your opponents, they all benefit from this sort of thing. Anyway, I've said my piece when it comes to the Enervation now. So I think I like it. I think it has a lot of potential. It has a lot of, and even more potential to make it more unique, depending upon if we can get some sort of special passives or unique abilities on very particular sockets, or there's feats that improve the socket's potential or power in some way. And I think I like the idea, if it goes in, that we'll have some sort of trade a feat for a socket. That'd be kind of neat as well, or something of the sort. Again, I like this framework. I can see the potential that this has. Next, let's talk about the base psi cost modifier. So, I didn't really notice it that much. I suppose it hurt my pyrokinetic stream a little bit, because I get less, it costs more psi to use this. Just slightly more psi, but it still costs more psi, and so thus I get less ticks of this damage off on the enemy. But I didn't have any issues really with psi and this slight increase in cost when I was in Depot A. But again, I didn't play a pure psionicist. And to that note, again, this entire patch is nerfing the pure psionicist playstyle. That is one of the things, that's what this is designed to do. Does it do it effectively? Yeah, I guess so. I'll be honest, though. That's not like I'm lying. I'm not lying normally. I would rather see a bonus for you using one single school, or maybe 2, rather than getting punished for using more. Maybe if you only have one type of psionic school in your brain, you get a bonus. Like, your psi cost modifier is reduced, as opposed to you put 2 up there and now it's 100%. And 3 and later don't do anything. Maybe you have one set of disciplines up here and they all get like a cost reduction and a chance to crit. A slight increased chance there, or something of the sort, or their action point cost is lowered by like 2, or something really small, but you get a little bonus for it. And if you go with 2 of them, you lose 2 schools, you lose 1 of those bonuses. And if you go with 3 or more, you don't have a penalty, but you don't get the bonus either. And that way, you're not really punishing the player for taking a bit of everything. They're sacrificing a little bit of more. They're sacrificing efficiency for utility, and that could work. I think I would like to see something like that, rather than just the psi cost going up for someone trying to utilize all their characters' full potential. And of course, we could have a feat. We can have a feat to make it so that it doesn't matter what abilities you have in your brain, they all cost the same amount, right? That's another easy way to get around it. Or a drug. You take the drug, and all your psionic abilities cost exactly the same, lasts like 5 turns or 6 turns or something like that, enough to get you through a combat. And you'd have to have high levels of biology in order to take it, which you're probably going to take anyway, right? Because you're taking high intelligence, because you want as many slots as possible as a pure psionicist. So there's that aspect of it as well. But what I think of this, I didn't really feel this. Not really. Not through Depot A. I'm guessing that in longer protracted battles, this would start to get noticeable to me. But didn't really feel this at all with my character. And again, a pure psionist, they're gonna feel this if they have one for every single school. That's 4 different abilities. That modifier is 130%. They'll definitely feel a 30% increase in your spells, in your spell cost. Like cryostasis, oh, oof. It's gonna be like 80-something points to cast this if it's up there. Of course, you can still get around that sort of thing by using premeditation. So there's that aspect of it. All right, everyone. So 1 or 2 things more. We'll do a summary, and then we're good to go. So when it comes to this nerf, this change, I really feel that we have an opportunity to try to help Stig design this change. This is a big change. This is totally reining in the power of Psi. It's putting it on equal footing as some of the other builds in the game. It definitely, at the moment, it does kind of neuter a pure Psionist build. There have been 2 patches so far. There was the original one, which came out July 21st, and another that came out on July 22nd. The one that came out July 22nd didn't remove anything that got added. All it did was just tweak the numbers a bit to make it less restrictive. I think from this we can glean that Stig likes these changes, and he wants to use them, and probably will actually use them in some fashion. What we see with Enervation, we're gonna probably get it. What we see with the Psi Reserves, we're getting something like that. This is an opportunity for us to test this and leave some feedback so that we can get this into a state where Psi is toned down, but still feels usable and playable. And you can probably make a full Psionicist work if we see some more changes. Again, things like adding feats for sockets, or circuits, whatever you want to call them. Adding a feat to lower the Psi cost. Maybe adding feats to add special properties to the circuits. Adding craftable items to give you more circuits. There's all sorts of potential here, and we should try to voice the potential rather than just our misery with this change. I don't think it's helpful to go and scream at Stig on the forums. That's not going to convince him. That's not going to convince him. He's going to release this anyway. I can tell at least he seems to really like this idea. So let's try to guide these changes into a place where we all can agree this feels good. It doesn't take the knees off the side builds, but it does ring them in. And I do think this is a step in that right direction. And on that note, we'll do the summary. So what do I think about the side changes? Overall, I like them. I like this. But I don't have a full Psionicist that I'm running with at the moment. I used to. He was level 27, and he was down in Deep Caverns. I should have kept him, but I deleted him because I was intending to never play Underrail. Well, not never, but take a long break from Underrail. Because I've been playing it pretty much non-stop for the past several years. I have 2 entire playlists of this game up on my channel, so I wanted a small break. But when Stig released his update, I knew immediately I wanted to test it and leave some feedback as to what I was thinking about it, and try to voice any concerns I had, or maybe give some ideas to how it can be improved. And I think I've done that in this video. I don't pretend to imagine Stig will ever find this video out here on YouTube, but if you do, sir, I like the direction you're going. I still think it needs a little more work. I would like to see some more slots, again, for feats, to free up a little more utility for pure Psionicist builds that definitely will be hurting with this change. Although, I suppose you can make an argument that it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to take guns, throwing crossbows, and melee up to their full rank, right? It doesn't. I can't think of a single build that takes all 4 offensive skills up 100%, like you would be tempted to do with Psi. Guns, crossbows, melee, and throwing, right? The way that you spend the points down there. Maybe the idea is to change Psi such that it works in a similar fashion to your weapon skills. You take 1, maybe 2, You don't take a third. Anyway, I'm beginning to ramble. So I'll stop here. Hope you guys like the Deep Away run. Hope you guys enjoy seeing the changes that were introduced here with the new Psi experimental build. And if we get major changes, I will try to run through Deep Away with another character to show those major changes to Psi as well. And I'll also try to beat the game with this character, so you get an idea if I can actually get to Chort and beat Chort with him. Alright everyone, thank you again for watching, and I will look forward to seeing you in the next one. Take care everyone.